Hi, welcome back. Beautiful day here in North Texas in April. I'm gonna smoke some baby back ribs. If you look at my first video, I lit the Kamado Joe for the first time. I closed all the vents. This is what it looked like when I opened it back up. You'll notice that I pulled this out. It's got the deflector and the grates for the ribs here. I'm gonna start the fire back up, again using these, I guess, organic fire starters here. I did learn that you need more than just two. On my first video, you'll notice I used, I think, two of them. Unfortunately, the fire didn't start as quickly as I'd like. So now I'm gonna use around 5 of these. And since I'm gonna be smoking, I'm gonna get some apple chunks as well. Everything that I've researched about the way to do this best is to put these apple chunks kind of around the outside, maybe just a couple in the center to start us out with some smoke, which is fine. But as these smoke and the baby back ribs go on, you're gonna want just some apple to be kind of scattered around here to be able to have some good smoke from that. So I'm gonna go ahead and light this now. We'll get it back up to temp, hopefully really quickly. It got up to temp pretty quickly earlier, so I'm gonna replace this in here. And then as far as the vents are concerned, when you're relighting this, it's okay to leave it wide open and open the door. You want to just make sure your fire can start quickly. And then we'll go get the ribs prepared here in a second. Look forward to showing you what that's all about, and we'll see you soon. And in my haste, because this is my first set of videos and my first time giving some instruction, I actually forgot to put the tray in. You'll notice the smoke's already starting to roll, which is great. But I forgot to put the tray in. That's going to be able to deflect or keep the moisture inside of here for us for the ribs. So I'm going to take just some aluminum foil. I'm going to stick it down to help kind of soak up some of the mess from the ribs as they drip. And then I'm just putting this tray right in here and then filling it with some water. Something interesting that I had seen the other day is a guy on YouTube had taken some apple juice and some cider and put it here in the tray. I've always used water, so maybe on the next my next attempt, I'll try that and see what it's like to use a little bit of apple cider instead there. I'm gonna just replace these grates real quick. And then you'll notice the smoke is starting to rise. So I'm just gonna close this down and we'll check back in and hopefully get this up to 225 degrees. And then we're gonna go prepare the ribs now. All right, it's time to do some baby back ribs. I'm gonna do 2 racks today. Typically I would go to my local meat market and get these ribs with the membrane removed. However, when you get them from your local grocer, typically you need to remove the membrane. Usually when I do this, I have about a 50-50 chance at getting it right. Today, thankfully on this other set of ribs, I was able to remove it with ease, and I think I've got a good start on this one. So I'm just gonna show you. You're gonna wanna get the piece of skin that's just above the rib here and get a paper towel. And as you pull it, everything should pull off all at once for you. So you're just looking to pull this sheet of skin right off of the ribs to prepare them to be smoked, and we should be good to go. Next thing I'm gonna wanna do is I'm gonna turn these ribs over. You'll notice I have just wishbone Italian dressing. I've used this quite a bit in smoking ribs. I think the flavor's good. I've used mustard before, which is another method that a lot of people will do. I always like to start with the ribs when I'm gonna put the seasoning on them, with them bone side up first. And then I'm just gonna lightly coat these ribs. You're gonna wanna get some of those vegetables that are inside of this oil on there. You're just coating it with your hand. Some people will measure this. I don't. I just kind of go by, feel. Obviously you don't want to get them oversaturated, but all you're looking to do is coat these to give the ribs a nice base for the seasoning to adhere to. And so the seasoning that we're gonna be using today is from, it's called Gospel Barbecue Rub. It's from the Meat Church Barbecue Company. Now this is a blend they came out with 4 or 5 years ago. It was a combination of 2 of their different rubs. we really enjoy it in our household. I would tell you the flavor is excellent. It's got sweet notes, but it's also got some good pepper to it. And so we're just gonna coat this. You don't have to get crazy on coating. You know, you're just trying to give them a generous coating along the way here. And then we're gonna do that as we prepare these racks of ribs. You can smell it too, it's great. That's the best part of it, is you can start to smell it, and it smells delicious. So I've got the smoker going outside right now. And I'm gonna flip these ribs over, and then you just give them another coat here. That's all I'm doing, just dressing these the exact same. And then I'm gonna finish these off with some more of the rub. I just like to kind of flip them over like that, just to get it applied evenly all over the ribs here. I've used other rubs. We like a dry rub on our ribs. On occasion, we will use a barbecue sauce as well, and we'll show you what that's about here in one of our next videos. So now they're dressed and ready. I'm just waiting on the grill at this point. You'll notice the other ingredients in front of me are for spritzing the ribs. This is a spritz that I learned early on. It's something that I've used on all of my ribs, and we typically love it. You'll notice it's apple juice, apple cider, and then Worcestershire sauce, however you pronounce that. Let me get a measuring spoon out here. And so as far as the recipe is concerned, and let me get my funnel here. I actually got this at Lowe's as well when I bought the grill. I think it was great. It looks like it's an Oklahoma Joe spray bottle. I've used other spray bottles, and I will tell you, I hope this one works a lot better, because those other spray bottles typically leak a whole bunch and they stop working really quickly. But the ingredients for this, it's going to be Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of this going straight into the funnel here. So that's 1. Actually, that's why I got this other bottle out. I knew I would run out. So you're going to take the second bottle here. Perfect. And then as far as apple cider vinegar is concerned, you're going to want to take 1 tablespoon of this. And then you're going to want to do 8 ounces. So it looks like we're at about 1 ounce currently. You're going to want to do 8 ounces of apple juice. And actually, this looks like it's 10 fluid ounces. So we're going to just go until we hit the 9 ounce mark total. Perfect. So that's what we're going to use to spritz the ribs. I'm still waiting on the grill to come up to temperature. Then we'll put these on, and about every 30 minutes is what we're going to spray, is the timeline we're going to use to start spraying the ribs. So other than that, these ribs, from what I understand, on the grill should take around 5 to 6 hours total. So we'll see if that is true or not. This is the first run of ribs that I've used or done on this grill in particular. It's the Kamado Joe grill. I've used the Green Mountain in the past in the Hasty Bake, but this will be the first run of ribs I've done here on the Kamado Joe. So we'll see how they turn out, but it's a dry rub. Again, we got the Gospel barbecue rub from Meat Church. You'll notice I have some butcher paper here in the background. Also got this from Lowe's. Again, very convenient that Lowe's has all your barbecue supplies right out there. I'm gonna wrap the ribs about 3 hours in. And outside of that, we'll get everything on the grill and start smoking, and see you soon. All right, so I'm ready to stick the ribs on. I've got those right out here. The Kamado Joe is up to temperature. I've got it right at 250. I'm probably gonna try to back that down just a little bit as we start to smoke. I did bring the rub out with me. I always like to put the ribs on. And you'll notice I also adjusted the grates. I actually pulled those up to the top level here. I felt like it would be better for them to smoke up a little bit higher and not get as hot, hopefully, there. So we'll put these on, and then, like I said, I just like to hit them kind of with a final coat here and just get a nice little base coat on them here. Sometimes when you touch it, you get it all over your hands and you can kind of see some bare spots, and certainly like to have everything nice and coated. So we'll let these go for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes probably before I spritz them the first time, and then we'll spritz them every 30 minutes after that, and look forward to checking back in. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes. Temperature's holding perfectly right now. I've came out a few times just to check on it. Again, this is my first run with this, so I've never used this before, just trying to kind of learn everything with you. Gonna open it for the first time here. You'll notice the ribs are doing great, and all I'm gonna do is just spritz them real quick with just a little bit of this rub that we made earlier. So that's it, and then we'll close them back up and let them go another 30 minutes, and we'll keep spritzing them along the way. Right, so we're about 3.5 hours into the smoke so far. You can kind of see what the ribs are looking like. I've been out here pretty religiously every 30 minutes just doing this to spritz the ribs here and make sure that they stay nice and coated so they don't dry out. Some people here in this process will go to the 3-2-1 method. They would pull these ribs, they would wrap them, they would put them in for another 2 hours and let them really cook. They'd put some butter on them, maybe some barbecue sauce as well. We have typically always done our ribs start to finish like this without covering them in any sort of foil or wrapping. I'm gonna stay the course today and just finish these the way that they are. You can start to see the bones start to stick out. This rack is a little thicker. It's gonna take a little more time. The meat's looking great. It's tasting great as well. So we'll let this finish and keep checking in, of course, and then we'll pull them and cut them and see how they taste. All right, so it's time to pull the ribs off. You can see they've got some good color to them now. Bones are sticking out pretty good. This was a little bit thinner of a rack than this one was, but both look to be completely done. You'll notice as you pick them up, they'll want to fold back over on themselves pretty well. And so they should be done and ready to go. I am going to turn down the grill now and let it start to cool down, and then we will take these inside and cut them. So as far as cutting these, they should be pretty easy. I've got my knife out here already and
sounds nice.
Ready to go. It's always hard to find exactly where to cut these things at, so I'll start here maybe instead. It's a little hot.
You need to get like a towel or something?
Hope we're good. I should be all right here. So I'll just start here, cutting. I can't get into one of these here. All right, so the reason I wanted to do that, this one's a little thicker, so you can kind of see the cut. But other than that, looking forward to eating some good ribs, and that was how I did my baby back ribs for the day.